Hello everyone and welcome to Overreacted. Today we are going to build a clone for Microsoft Teams. Let me walk you through what we are going to build today. As you can see, this is a website running on my local host. This is entirely built in React. It's just the UI part right now, and in the coming videos we will add the feature to call, video call, group call and everything. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel for further videos. Okay, so this is the UI part that we're going to build. It's the main section of Microsoft Teams where you can make a call, you can add a contact and so on. So before starting to build any clone, you should first decode what you're going to build and find out the components, because after all React is all about components, be it functional component or be it class component. So here I'll tell you what are the components that we are going to build. This part, as you can see, this is the header, right? And this is the sidebar. Now that we have a header and sidebar which will be common in all the screens, apart from the header and sidebar we have this entire body. This is the body, and in the body we have a left part and a right part. In the left part, this is a menu, and we can say this is a dialer, and in the right part we have a heading, we have some options, a button and a search bar and some contact cards, and there is an avatar in the header, there is a search bar in the header, and there is the usual name in the header. There are some icons as well in the sidebar. So this is going to be an easy build. If you are a complete beginner in React, then also you can build this clone of Microsoft Teams. So without further delay, let's start. I have this code running in my local host. I'll just stop this. We'll take reference from this if we are stuck. Okay, so the very first thing that you should do is to do npx. I'll increase my screen size of terminal so that you can see. Npx create react app. Let's call it teams 2. I have already one Teams app that I built previously, this one. I'll build this again. So meanwhile this is being installed, I'll pause the video and we'll see you once this is done. Hello, so the React app has been created. Now we'll open the terminal. I'm using VS Code here. I personally like VS Code. You can use any editor you want. I have increased the size a little bit so that you can see. You can see this is the Teams 2. This is the template that we get. To run this, we'll just start the command npm start. We'll keep this running while we are building this, and it will start on our localhost 3000. So as you can see, let's make it full screen. This will take a minute or two. Okay, so now it is compiled successfully. If you get this screen, this means that your template is running. Let's start building our application. First of all, I need a components folder. So this folder will contain all the components that I'm going to build. And this particular screen, this is the calls screen of the Microsoft Teams. So let's create a folder called calls, and every folder should have an entry point. I call it index.js. You can call it calls.js or anything. I personally prefer calling it index, and you will see this pattern throughout my code, so don't get confused. And the next thing is calls.css. Here we will apply all the css for this index file. And now if you will see, we have our index. I'm using an extension for React snippets, which by just typing rfce I will get a function component. Let's call this calls, and let's say this is calls. Now let's try this in our app.js. We don't need any of this. Let me just erase everything here and call this calls. It isn't imported automatically. Make sure you import everything, otherwise it will give error. So now I don't need this line as well. If you'll save it, you will see this is calls. As you can see it on my screen, which means that our functional component is created. So let's start dividing our component, our screen into components. Here is a sidebar, here it is the header, this is left fold, this is right fold. So in the components, let's make a common folder. The common folder usually contains everything which is used by all the screens. Right now we just have one screen, but in future when we'll build the complete clone, we'll have many screens. So a header is always common in all the folders. Let's call it again index.js, and let's say rfce header Okay, this is header, right? And the next thing that is common is the sidebar will also be in all the folders. Make sure that this is not inside header, it should be in the common folder. So in sidebar, let's have another index.js and let's call it sidebar, right? This is sidebar. Cool. Then we have our left, this is header, this is sidebar, this is left fold and side fold. Let's say that this particular thing is the body of our screen, and in the body we have three segments. One is sidebar segment, left fold segment, right fold segments. So by going here, let's call our header first of all, because header is going to be on top. So this is our header, let's import it here. So our header is imported, and we will wrap everything else in our div. This is the body div, and here I need one more div, and in this I'll call my sidebar. I don't know why it is not being auto imported. It should usually import sidebar. So now that we have our sidebar, let's go with a left fold and right fold. We haven't created left fold actually. Let's go and create. Now make this sure is common is inside components, not in calls, because it will be used by other files as well. So if you'll see right now, this is header, this is sidebar, it's working perfectly. Next we need a left fold folder, left fold, and let's create our index file, index.js, rfc left fold. Make sure that your function component have a capital letter in the beginning, otherwise React will give an error here. This is left fold. Alright, perfect. And we need a right fold as well, right fold. I am following my own coding practices, you can follow your own. I generally give a small case letter name to all the folders. You can give any name you want. This is right fold, perfect. This is right fold. Now let's just put it here inside this div. Okay, sorry, here I need my left fold, and in another div. Now you must be wondering why I am putting everything inside another div, because I am going to use flex property, and it's very convenient to keep it everything inside div so that you can apply flex any way you want. Right fold here. So now I should have everything. This is right fold, this is perfect, and yeah, that's it. These are the main parent components that we are going to use. Let's give it class names, and let's design it a little bit. Let's call it calls. In future you're going to have many classes, so make sure that your class names are not confusing at all. So I'm going to call it calls container, and this is the calls container, right? This whole screen is calls container, and in this we have class name called, above we have header, and beneath that we are going to have calls body. This is calls sidebar. Let's give it class name calls sidebar. This is calls left fold, and yeah, for class names I generally use camel case along with hyphens if the name is such as left fold, right fold. This is calls right fold. So yeah, now all of this has some classes. Now I just have to go here and apply all the classes. Okay, first of all I'll have to import the styles here. Import, it's called calls.css. Many people create a single CSS file which is usually 1000 lines long and keep all the styles there, but I prefer putting all my styles in a component folder so that it's easier to read when you are going to make any changes. So first of all, we are going to say that calls body. Let's give it a display of flex. Throughout my code, I'm going to use flex property. If you are not familiar with flex, please read. It's one of the best property of CSS. You can play online flex foggy game to learn flex better. So let's give it a width of 100% and let's give it a flex of 1. Now this flex 1, what it will do, it will grow to take all this available space that it has. And I'm going to give it a height. Okay, I'm missing a semicolon here. GIGST. Let's give it a height of 94% because the above 6% will be taken by header as per my calculations. And then this calls container. Actually, I should put this container above the body, but it doesn't matter how you're going to put your CSS, but make sure that the priority is set so that some of your style is not being overwritten unintentionally. Let's give the container a width of 100%. This is, I'll remind you, this is the main class is container. Inside the container we have the body. So let's give it a width of 100% and a height of 100 view height. Now 100 view height is necessary to take all the screens that we have, Then we have calls sidebar. Okay, now I'm going to use something called ratio, which you obviously know. So when you do this, a property called flex 1 or 2 or 3, anything, it's basically a ratio in comparison to everything inside that particular flex. So if you see, my sidebar, my left fold and my right fold are all inside calls body, and calls body has a width of 100%. Now I will divide this 100% into such a manner that it will take proportional width, this and this. If you see my arrow, this left fold and this particular sidebar. So let's do it. Let's say it's display flex and let's give it a flex of 1. Now what will it do? It will take all the available space. If you will see here, this sidebar is still here, this point, the sidebar is till this point. Now to make it relatively smaller, what we will do, we will say left fold, we will give display flex and we will give it a flex of, so it is 1. If you see it in ratio to this sidebar, this particular left fold is approximately 3 times bigger, so we will say flex 3, right? And the calls right fold. Now if you will see, in comparison to this sidebar, this right fold is approximately 10 times bigger, or as per I think it's 11 times. So I will give it a display property of flex and I will call it flex of 11. Now what is happening, my whole if you'll see, my whole calls body, this body is divided into 3 parts: this sidebar, this left fold and this right fold, and the ratio is 1:3:11. So as you can see, my sidebar is still here, my left fold is still here, and beyond that it's all my right fold. Okay, now let's start building the header component, this particular header component for our application. If you'll see, my header has a menu button, name, a sidebar, a search bar, and let's say this is profile. Cool. So it doesn't matter what you call it, you can give it any name that you want. So if you go to our index, this is my header. Let's first of all create a header.css file and import it here. Import header.css. So this is my CSS file. Let's remove this part. Now if you look very closely, this header is following a similar ratio to my body. This menu part till here is again a ratio of 1:3:11, right? It's parallel to the body. So The very first thing that we will do is we will create three divs: div 1, div 2 and div 3, and let's give it a name. First of all, every time I give my parent the same name as my function component, so this is going to be header. Now this is going to be menu, the header menu, so let's call it header menu. This is going to be the header left fold. This particular part is header left fold and this is header right fold. See, I am creating a mind map in my brain so that I can create my class components like that only. This menu is parallel to sidebar, this title is parallel to this left fold, and this search and profile thing is parallel to my right fold. So I am naming it similarly. Class name is header left fold and this is class name is header right fold. Perfect. Now that we have these three things, let's just call it here. This is menu and let's call that header left fold and let's call it header right fold. Sorry, right fold. Right. Now I'll style these things. If you'll see, it looks like this. All three are stacked. So we will style. First of all, we will go to our CSS. Now that it is imported, the parent component should have a width of 100%, which is very important. Then let's give it a display property of flex. Again, I am emphasizing on this thing that if you don't know flex, please read on it so that you can use it better. I think no, this much zoom is good, you can see everything. Now Teams has a background color of, it's a hex code, it is 464775. 464775. I checked this from their website by inspecting their elements. You can do it for any website that you want. And color, now if you don't know the difference between background color and color, background color is basically the canvas that we have, and color is anything on that canvas, be it text, be it icon or anything. So it is white. And also flex 1, this will take the entire width that is available to this header. And let's give it a padding. Now if you don't know the difference between padding and margin, please be clear. Padding is the internal gap between the element and the boundary. Margin is the external gap between the boundary and other element. So let's give it a padding of 6 pixel and 0 pixel. Now this style of giving two padding is generally top left, sorry, this is right, top right, bottom and left. Now I have written two values, which means top and bottom are going to be 6 pixel and right and left are going to be 0 pixel. So I hope you are clear why I have written two values, 6 pixel and 0 pixel. The next thing is header menu, I guess. Yes, it's called header menu. So let's style header menu dot header menu. But before this, let's check how it looks right now. As you can see, we have a background color, we have a padding in between the elements, and it's all aligned in a flex. Flex is by default row. This is called a row, and if you want to change the direction, you can make it column as well. We'll do it many times in this clone, you'll see. So let's start with the menu. The very first thing I do is to give it a display property of flex. Now we have to follow this ratio. If you remember, 1:3:11. So we will call it flex 1, justify content center. Now when you give a property of flex, the principal axis, which is a row by default, this will justify everything to the center and align the secondary axis, which is vertical right now. It will align everything center as well. There are many things you can do with flex. These are just basics of that. And except for this, we will say I'll give it a font size of 20 pixel. Now why font size? Because I'm going to use the icons inside in I format, which is known as font. So it will take the font size of 20 pixel. You'll understand why I gave it a font size of 20 pixel. Now if you'll see, it has flexed, it has taken all the available space. Now we'll make it relative by giving ratio to other properties as well, which means let's come to header left fold. So the very first thing is, as usual, giving it a property of flex, giving it a flex of 3. Remember, we are copying what we did in the body so that the ratio remains constant and it looks parallel and perfect. Then again we are going to justify content, flex start. Now what is flex start? Flex start is the beginning here, like this thing will shift to where it is starting. You'll see when I will save this. And we want to align the items to center so that the padding and everything is perfect. You can see from here this left fold is starting and it is aligned here. You can see my left fold is taking all the space till here. Now we'll give ratio to right fold and it will be automatically adjusted. So let's give a property of header right fold. First thing is to display flex. The second thing is to give it a flex of 11 and justify content. Let us say space between. Now what is space between? Space between is a property in which anything that you have will be shifted to the extreme ends of the flex. Right now I'm going to have this search. If you can see this search and this profile, you can see this is stick to the right end and this is at the left end. So therefore I am giving it a property of space between. So now it has justify content space between. Let's save it and done. Now as you can see, this looks a bit ugly. When we'll place logos and everything, it will look perfect. As you can see, now it is aligned as per the body. Both are ending here, and it has taken all the available space next to it. So let's go and put everything else here. Before that, we need some icons here. Now my favorite place to get icons is from flaticon.com. It is a very great site to use, and I suppose that you also use some place to get icons and not randomly pick from Google. This is one of the best icons that I have ever seen, and it's completely free. You just have to copy this thing and go to your public, go to your index file and just paste it here. That's it, done. Nothing else need to be done. Now you come to header, you search for what is it, menu. I am using which menu, I forgot, sorry. This one, it's a grid actually. So let's search for grid, this one. So if I copy this and paste it here, now as you can see perfectly my menu icon is here. So nothing needs to be done. It's the menu side is done. Now let's move to the left fold. Now what is in the left fold is a search bar. Now how to create a search bar? You must have seen many tutorials, you must have created yourself also. Since we are not going to focus on the functionality in this video, so I'm going to randomly create a search bar without thinking much about the functionality of this. So sorry, before search we have this title, I forgot, sorry. This is in the left fold. So in the left fold I generally place everything inside label. I don't think this is the correct syntax. It is label, yeah. Sorry. So this is Microsoft Teams. All right, so this is Microsoft Teams. Perfect. Let's give it a class name of header label. You can see my label is here. Before moving forward, let's just style the label. It will be a good thing to do so that we can directly see our changes on our website. So dot header label. Let's give it a font size of 20 pixel. As you can see, I have matched the font size of this menu and this header label. and then let's give it a font weight is the depth, the thickness of the font, and let's give it a margin left of, because you can see it is a little bit left, there is a gap between this border and this margin, so let's give it a margin left of 16 pixels. Make sure that you use limited number of margins, you should not put any random value. This is a bad practice. So yeah, now that we have our label sorted out, the next thing is to build the right fold of the header component. Now to build the right fold, let's divide it into divisions by using div, of course. So the first div, this is going to be search. So let's give it a class name of header search. Okay, the spelling is correct. Now the search has a search icon and an input box. So first of all, I'll get a search icon from here, this one. Just copy. See how easy it is to use these icons. A big shout out to Flat Icons for making such awesome free icons. And the next thing that we need is input. It's a self-closing tag. Make sure you're not closing it two ways. The placeholder is simple search, and done. Yeah. So as you can see, this looks a bit ugly. We'll style it out, and this is how my search looks. Now let's make it look like this. Okay, so let's go to header.css and start styling this particular search bar. So let's import header search. Let's give it a display property of flex. Let's justify content to flex start, because I want this to be in the beginning of this particular right fold. So I've given it a justify content property of flex start. I want it to be vertically center, equal spacing above and below. Then flex, how much flex? Again, I'm going to use a ratio. As you can see, if this whole thing is 100%, till here this is 60% approximately. So I'm going to give it a flex of 6 and a flex of 4 to this part. So right now I have a flex of 6. Now if you save it, it looks something like this. Same, nothing has changed. I'm going to give it a background color of white, padding of 8 pixels, so that there is a gap between these two things. Now as you can see, there is gap, my icon is not visible, and it has taken all the available width. Perfect. After giving it a padding, let's give it a border radius. Now what border radius does is it gives curves to the borders so that it looks rounded, and it gives a nice aesthetic look to all the boxes. Border radius of 6 pixels and a color. Now again, this color is for the internal search icon and the placeholder. Now as you can see, it has got this search icon has a color and there are border radius. Now let's style the input of this. I'm going to use CSS selector. Just read about CSS selectors. Inside my search there is an input tag, so I'm going to target that particular input tag by just writing header search space input. This will target all the inputs in my header search. Right now I just have one, so I want the border to be border none. So you can see this border is not visible anymore. I want it to have a width of 100%. Now right now it doesn't make sense, but what it will do, if you'll see, I can't click here, but if you save this right now, and now as you can see, I can click anywhere. This whole box is now editable. So that's why width of 100%. Then font size for this particular input, as you can see, it's very small right now, so let's give it a font size of 16 pixels. And then I need a background color of white again. This is not needed, but just for safety. Margin left, so that it is not sticking to this search icon. Let's give it a margin left of 6 pixels and a color of this for the placeholder. So perfect. Now as you can see, our search bar is ready. Sorry, I want the outline to be none as well. Yeah, the outline is also gone. So now as you can see that my search bar is ready. The last and final thing is to build this particular what is this profile, let's say. So we'll again go to our right fold, we'll create a div here, and inside this div let's start creating our right fold. This particular thing, let's say this dots, it's options, and this is avatar, right? I don't know if it's avatar or avatar, both are correct. So yeah, this is let's give it a class name of header profile, header profile. Okay, and let's create two divs, one for the options, let's call it header options, and another, we don't need a div because image can be like moved any way we want. So just let's give it a class name called header, and we'll give it a source. Now again for source, I'll go to flat icon, I will search for avatar here, and you'll see we'll get many avatars. I'll just copy this one, copy the image address, paste it here, close the tag, and done. Let me close this terminal so that you can see better. Okay, now if you'll see here in the avatar, it looks really ugly. Let's style this. Okay, but before that I need my dots as well. So I'll go here, I'll search for option menu, yeah, this one, menu dots. Let's paste it here. You can see the dots is here, very little visible. We'll just style it and it will look perfect. So again in the CSS file, we just have to write the styles for this header profile. This is the container. Let's give it a display property of flex. Let's give it a display property of flex. Okay, so I told you that this particular portion is 60% and this is 40%. Now that it has a flex of 6, obviously this should have a flex of 4, so that it takes 40% of the whole width. And then we have justify content to flex end. I want it to be stick to this particular end, right? So flex end, and I want the things to be vertically aligned, so I'll give it align item center. I want a padding from the right, because see there is a little bit of padding from the end, so padding right of 16 pixels. So if you'll see now that there's space, it is to the end. Now I just have to reduce the size and it will look good. So it's very simple. Let's call the class of our icon, which is header avatar, and let's give it a height of 32 pixel. It will maintain the ratio, and you can see it is the desirable size that we want. Let's just style the profile options, which is profile. What was the class name again? It is header options, sorry. So it is header options, and it should have a font size of, let us say, 28 pixel, and 28 pixel will make it look good. And I want a margin from the right side so that it won't stick to the profile icon. Margin right of again 16 pixel will look good. Now we will save it. Yes, you can see that my header component is completed now. It looks exactly the way we want. So okay, one thing is remaining. The background color is not what we decided. You see there is a difference, so I'll just change the background color. It's not white, it is hashtag even. So this is the color on Microsoft Teams. If you will check again, this white I'll have to change this to even. Now it looks, yeah, now it looks exactly like Microsoft Teams. So our header component is completed. Now let's build the sidebar. Alright, so now that we have our header component, let's build the sidebar. So if you'll see here, the sidebar has two components according to me. This is, let's say, sidebar top, and this is sidebar bottom, and each of these icon is very similar to each other, right? Cool. So let's go to our sidebar and start building. So first of all, we will need, let's close this calls. Okay, so in the sidebar we need a CSS file, so let's call it sidebar.css. Let's import the CSS file here, sidebar.css. Okay, let's create two divs. First of all, one will be sidebar top, and the other will be sidebar bottom. Sidebar bottom, and this will have a class name of sidebar. I told you again before as well that the parent, I give it the same name as my component. So this is sidebar, and inside the top we have these icons, inside the bottom we have these icons. So it is very important to create it as a separate component so that we can reuse it all the time. But before doing everything, what we have to do here is we have to create a data for, let's say, an array which contains all these menu options. So it's generally a good idea to separate your data from your file. I should not write all the array in this file only, it will make it look clumsy. So let's create a data folder, and here it's very easy to create a sidebar file, right? So let's call it sidebar.js. Here I will create my menu. So let's export it. Let's call it sidebar data, right? Sidebar data. It will be an array of object. Each object will represent one menu item. So let's give it an ID. Let's give it a name. So the first item is activity. I don't know if we can read this or not. It's activity, chat, teams, assignment, calendar, calls, and files, right? So first is activity. Cool. And then an icon. So what I will do to make it easier, I will just copy the icon from here. This is known as a bell icon. So I'll say I have a bell. I'll refresh it. Sometimes the website gives you a bug, the images are not loaded, so make sure you refresh it. This particular bell, I'll copy the bell and paste it here. So as you can see, my one component is ready. I'll just copy this particular thing from my old code so that I can save the time. So I will copy this. So I will copy this array. I'll show you what it looks like. So yeah, you can see first is activity, this icon, chat, this icon, teams, this icon, assignments, this icon, calendar, this icon, calls, this icon, files, this icon. Okay, so I've saved it. Now if you'll see, I have covered all the icons till files. Now this is a more option, we will say, and this is the bottom data. So we will create a more data known as export const sidebar more. Let's say it is sidebar more. So this is again just an object, it should not be an array. And why is it giving an error? Okay, I have one extra this. Okay, so now this should have an ID. It is one only. Okay, and it doesn't have a name, it just has an icon, and icon of menu dots. This is just a menu dots that we used earlier. So menu dots, let's copy this, paste it here. Okay, this is done. Now if you'll see, we have covered the icons till here. Now for the bottom part, Let's create sidebar bottom data as well. Export const. Now you will realize why I did this. Create a separate data file. It makes your life very easy if you start following this practice of separating your data from your components. It's again an array. The very first thing is an ID, let's say 1, and it has a name called apps, and icon which is an apps icon. So I'll search for apps here. This one I like. The last one is help, so I'll give it an ID too. This ID I'm giving because sometimes React gives you a warning to use key, which I'll explain you later when we map through the array. The name is help and the icon is help icon. So I'll search it from here. This one. Okay, perfect. Now that our data has been created, let's go back to our index. Let's call all these data here so that we can use it in our component. Let's call const top options. Top options is what? Sidebar data. This one. You see the sidebar data? Yeah, this one was my top options. So I have an array with top options. I need a more. More is sidebar more, and bottom is const bottom option. Bottom option options is sidebar bottom. Okay, now you see all these were automatically imported from our data folder. Now that we have these, let's start building this thing. I need one more div. Actually, not one more div exactly. Let's go to our sidebar top, and inside this top let's have a div, and we'll map through the options that we have. So tab options dot map. Now if you don't know the property map, it's one of the most important property of arrays in JavaScript. You should read more about it in the MDN network, MDN docs, or W3 schools, anywhere you want. We will pick one option here and we will return it. So instead, let us say this is, let's say it's a div, right? This is option. Now if you'll see, this is option, it must be 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, one for each of the top icon. And when we are done with this, we need one more div for the more icon. Let us say this is more here, div, this is more. And while going to the bottom, let's again do this thing. Let's map through the bottom options. Bottom options dot map. We take each option. If you are confused by what I did here in map, you should practice more map, because you are going to use map, array map, throughout your life if you are developing things in React or JavaScript in general. So when we return it, okay, I don't need this actually. I'll just write a div here. This is bottom, doesn't matter. What's the spelling? So you can see there are two bottom, there is one more, and there are 7 icons here. Perfect. Now instead of this div, I'm going to create a reusable component known as sidebar option, so that I can use it again and again. Let's create it. Sidebar option dot js, RFCE sidebar option. Now that my sidebar option is created, I'm going to take a prop here called option. Now what is this? Whatever option I'm going to pass, it will take it here. From where I'm going to pass? I'm going to pass it from here. So instead of this div, I will call my sidebar option here. Sidebar option. So I don't know why it was not automatically imported. I'll import it here. Sidebar option is imported. this, but you see I can give this thing any name, but I am calling it option and I will pass it as a prop. So option, now this option is passed here. I can now use it any way I want. So what I will do is I will return from here, I will return this particular icon. Now there are just two things in this icon, one is a name and one other is the icon. So let's create a div for the icon, and here we will have the icon, and next to it, now you see, since we are going to use this component every time, but in the more there is no name, so we will check. To write JavaScript inside HTML you need these curly braces. We will see that is there a name inside my option, because you see what we did in more, in this sidebar more, we didn't give it a name property. Since it doesn't have a name, it won't be printed. So we will see if it has a name and it's a and operator, then only make this label visible. So if my option doesn't have a name property, this label won't be visible. You will understand what I'm saying when we'll do this. So here we will say option dot name, and here we will say option dot icon. So we pass the option, icon we are using here, name we are using here. If you will see all the icons and names are visible in the top section of the sidebar. More and bottom we will create it later. Let's style it. Now you can see this particular call screen, since we are on call screen, there is a different color, a different UI for this. This is because it is active. So we will take another property here which is known as is active. Okay, and based on this is active, we'll pass classes. So to combine classes, what we will do, you can use class names property, you can use a library. I will simply create a constant called class list, now which will tell if active. Now this is a boolean, it is either true or false. Now is active, if it is true, which will only be true for calls icon, then my class name is going to be sidebar option, this because of my parent component sidebar option, and active. This is how you give two class names together. Otherwise, if it is false, is active is false, just make it sidebar option. Okay, and use it here, class name, class list. Now this, whatever, either this or this will be applied to this parent component. Now let's give it a class name of what, let's give it a class name of sidebar icon, and give it a class name of sidebar label, Okay, perfect. Now we just have to create a style file for this. Let's call it sidebar option dot css, import it here, sidebar option dot css. Perfect. Now we have a style imported. Now you see these class names, sidebar option, active, and then we have a label and we have icon. Now let's just style this by going into this file. The first thing is we have our parent, that is sidebar option. Let's give it a width of 100%. As usual, we'll give it a display property of flex. To make everything center, we will use justify content center. To make everything vertically center, we will use align items center. Now one thing I would like to tell you here, if you use justify flex direction property and make it column, then the usual behavior of align items and justify content is interchanged. What you want to achieve with align items will be achieved by justify content. This is because the principal axis gets changed. So yes, obviously we need flex direction of column because this is not a row, this is a column. So then we have padding I need padding of 8 pixel and 0 pixel. Now 8 pixel for top and bottom, but I don't want any horizontal padding, so I'll give it 0. The color is actually a slightly darker gray shade, so this is hashtag C1616161. This is a darker shade of gray, actually cursor pointer, so that when I hover over it, it looks like a pointer. So as you can see, this is the pointer and it looks good. Now I'll style the other components inside, the label and everything. So sidebar label, the label should have a font size of 9 pixel. So this is just a trial and tested font size which looks good here and readable as well. And the next is icon. For sidebar icon, I'm going to give it a font size of 24 pixel. And then now this is everything that I have done. Now we need two things. One, for the active class we need a different style, and when I hover over it, the class should change. You will see this feature on Microsoft Teams. So to do this, first of all, I'll take the active class and we will pass it a color of, you won't see the property of active class right now, but when I'll pass the isActive boolean prop from my index from here. So let's pass only, right, isActive. Let us say for now this is true, just for now to see the changes. So let's give it a color of 62647 I copied this from Microsoft Teams. You can copy it from there. And I want a border left of 4 pixels, a solid border, and the color is again 62647. And when I hover over any sidebar option, so this is hover property, I want the color to be again this. So now we are done with the sidebar. You can see for just right now I have made all the classes active. So this is how it looks. So I'll turn this off, false, and you see when I hover over it, it turns to slightly purple, exactly the way we want. Now how we will decide whether it is active or false? Right now we just want to make the call section active, so it doesn't matter how we are implementing it. So I'll just simply write option.name is equal to calls. So if the name is calls, then pass true, otherwise pass false. That's it. Now you can see my style is only applied to the calls part. Now I'll just reuse this particular sidebar option for more and for bottom, and we are done for this. So I'll use sidebar bottom, and here in the sidebar bottom part I'll pass my more as option. Now if you don't pass a prop, it is by default undefined. So if I don't pass isActive, it will be undefined, which is, you can say false, not exactly false but false. So it doesn't matter if we pass it or not. So this is more. So my more should, what happened? Okay, something broke down, I don't know what. Expected a string, got check the render method of sidebar. It expected a string, but instead it got a, okay, where did I go wrong? I think this particular part. Okay, this is working fine. I need a sidebar option, and I need an option of more from here. Okay, let's save it. Okay, so yeah, it's working fine. So as you can see, I have got all my options still here. Now I just have to pass it for the bottom. So instead of this, again I need sidebar option, and for my option I need option. If you're confused about map, I can call it anything. I can call it let's apple, and pass it apple as well. So it doesn't matter what you call it. So I should have, yeah, as you can see, we got this. We just have to style it so that these two things go to the bottom, and I think you know how to do that exactly by giving flex, giving properties to this sidebar. So we'll start styling this sidebar. Let's see the class names that we have. We have sidebar, we have sidebar top, we have sidebar bottom. That's it. Just 3 classes. Let's go to sidebar CSS and style these properties. So we need sidebar and we need a width of 100%. We need a background color of what? This is again I am taking from Microsoft Teams site. It is EB, another shade of gray actually. And obviously we will give it a display property of flex. We will flex direction column. We will justify content space between. I told you what is space between. It is vertically these two end, this end and this end, so that my two div will be like stretched to the ends. So a height of 100% and a z in. I'll explain z index later. So as you can see, yep, we got our sidebar. It looks exactly the way we want it to look. So now that we are completed with sidebar, we will go with the left fold and then finally the right fold of Microsoft Teams. Now that we have our sidebar, let's create the left fold. If you'll see in the left fold, we have this menu, we can say, and this a dialer, we can say. In the dialer we have a list of people, recent contacts, suggested, you can say, and here we have these menu options. So let's start creating the. We are done with the common component. Now we'll go to class, close this one, go to left fold. Okay, so this is left fold. Let's first create a style file known as leftfold.css. We'll import it here. Leftfold.css. Okay, in the left fold again, as I told you, we have two major components. One is this menu and one is the dialer. So we'll start by creating two divs. Always structure your component, whatever you are going to build, before starting to code. This way you will save a lot of time. My parent component will be called as left fold, and this I am creating as left fold menu. So I'll call this left fold menu. This I will call as left fold dialer. So this is, what is it? It's left fold dialer. Okay, now that I have these two components, there is a heading and then there is a menu options. So first of all, for headings I generally use label, and this is known as calls, and let's give it a class name of menu label. It is menu label. All right, now again we'll go to the data file and create data for this suggested list and this menu. So in that way it will be easier for us. So let's create a data file called calls.js. From here we will import everything. So let's export const calls menu. Again we'll create an array of objects. Each object will represent a menu item, the speed dial, context, history and voicemail. I will have same object properties: id, name called speed dial, and a last one, an icon known as an icon for speed dial. Here I am using a smartphone actually. I did not find the phone icon, so it doesn't matter what you use. You can just, again I have to refresh this, sorry for that. Yeah, so we have this smartphone. Let's just copy this. So see, similarly we'll create the array. To save the time, again I will copy this from my calls from here, which I created early. So as you can see, I have my menu items. Now while we are here in this file, let's also create the suggested list. This list of people that we are going to show here: Prince Khan, Joseph Singh, Ilyas Mossad. So let's call it as a dialer list. Now again this will be an array of objects. Here what we will have an ID, we will have a name, let us call it as Prince Khan. Then we will have a type. Now what is type, whether he is a student, whether he is an admin, whether he is a teacher, and so on. And then we'll have a link to the profile avatar URL, which we will obviously copy it from here. So again, to save the time, I'll copy it from here. Okay, here. Good. So as you can see, okay, my dialer list and my calls menu is completed. Now let's go to left fold to further create our file. Now while we are in left fold, we have our calls heading. If I save it, I can see calls. Right next to calls, I will have my menu list. To create that, I'll need a div, and inside this div I'll use JavaScript, obviously by using curly braces. I will say, first of all, I'll import that, so I'll call it as const menu, which is known as calls menu. So you can see it is from my data calls file, and I will use it here. I will say menu.map, and for each item you return, let us say div, this is menu, let us say this is, so I should have 4. Yeah, there are 4 items, right? If you'll see, here is speed dial, contacts, history, voicemail. Perfect. So now let's give it a class name. This one, let's call it menu items. Now again, we will create a reusable component so that we don't have to write the same code again and again. I'll just create a file called as menuitem.js. Menuitem.js. Let's simultaneously create a style file for this, menuitem.css. So when I go to my menu item, I will do rfce. I am again repeating, you should use extensions. It makes your coding really fast. I am using React snippets here for this. Now if you go to menu item, it is very simple. We are again going to use two options. One is item and is active. I told you the logic behind is active, so that you see this slightly gray shade here behind speed dial. We are going to give it based on is active property. So what we need is just a icon and a name. So I will need a label. Let's say a label first of all, which will have my item.name. It is the name that we give it in this name, speed dial, contacts. So I was here, item.name, and here I will need an icon, which is item.icon. So now I have my icon and my name. I will import my style here. I've called it menuitem.css. Before styling anything, let's call this in left fold to see how exactly it looks. So here, menu item, I hope this is the right name that I have written. Okay, perfect. So yeah, it will give error because I'm not passing any item. Item is equal to item. Now it won't give any error. See, speed dial, contact, history, voicemail. Now we just have to style it. Now again, for is active, we'll see it later. So now if I come to my menu item, based on is active, let's create a class list, const class list. We'll see if my menu item is active. If it is active, then I'll call it item active, and I'll call it menu item, which is by default. Otherwise it is just menu item. So I'll give it the same class name here. Class name is class list. Perfect. So now that I have it here, let's give it a class name of menu item icon, or just simply item icon, or and this an item label. So this is my item label. As you can see, I have given it all the class names. Let's just go and style it in this particular file. So here we will style our menu item. The very first is our parent component, which is menu item. Here we will give it a padding of vertically I want 8 pixel, horizontally I want 0 pixel. So top bottom 8, right left 0, because you can see there is a gap, but I don't want a gap here. And next I want to display it as flex. You must have seen I am using flex everywhere. I don't want it to be horizontally center, I just want it to be vertically center. So it looks something like this. Now I have to change the label. Item label is this particular name: speed dial, contact history, voicemail. So my label, it has a font size of 16 pixel and a font weight of 300. It is slightly lighter than the rest of the elements in Microsoft Teams. If you'll see the Teams, actually you'll notice it. Then is my item icon, the icon that I'm using. I want to give it a font size of 20 pixels. I want a margin between this icon and this label, so I will say margin right. Okay, what is this? I wanted a margin right of 12 pixels, and I wanted to give it a font weight as well, 300. This will most probably won't work, but let's give it a try, and let's give it a different shade of gray, which is 616161. So yes. And now for the active icons, let's give it item active, and let's change the background color to a different hash code, which I copied from Microsoft Teams, which is F3 EFEA. Sorry. So as you can see, my menu item is done. I just now have to place it in the container, style the container, and now we are done with the menu items. Now let's go to my left fold and see what else is remaining. Now in my left fold, now that we are done with the menu items, we have to make this dialer, this particular dialer. Here we have a label, we have a search bar again, and we have a suggested list. Okay, so to create this, let's go here, left dialer, left fold dialer. It is left fold actually. Okay, so inside my left fold we need a label. First of all, a label which has suggested, let's call it as dialer label, or just yeah, dialer label. You have to give a lot of names to classes, so make sure you're using unique names and names which are understandable, not XYZ anything. Then we need a div for the search bar, and we just need an input here, a placeholder which says type a name, and let's close this. And this one is again a class name is dialer search. So okay, now my search component is also created. You can see here, this is my search. Next we have is suggested. This part I'll calling it suggested, which has a label and a list. So next to my this thing, I'll create a div called and call it as dialer suggested. Inside my suggested, I have a label. This label is saying suggested. You see, in just one component I have so many labels, so make sure you're using good names so that you don't get confused while styling these. I'm calling it suggested label. Next to my label I have a list, and again the list that I created here, this dialer list, which has a name, type and avatar. So I was here, I'll create a div. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. Good. So okay, that's good. So let's call it suggested list. so that it suggested list. Now in this list I'll have a dialer list here from taken from there. So it is const dialer list is equal to dialer list. Now that I have my dialer list, I'll map through the list. Dialer list dot map. I'll take each item, and for each item I will return another component. So for now let's just test it out. I have written anything just to test. As you can see, 1 2 3 1 2 3 Prince Khan, Joseph Singh and Ilyas Mossad. So for this I will create one reusable component again and we'll use it here. So yes, so let's go to here left fold and let's create a folder known as dialer item item.js. Simultaneously let's create a CSS file as well, dialer item.css. Now that my both of the files are created, I'll call it as dialer item. Cool. So in the dialer item it's very simple. You can see what all things are here. Here is a avatar, there is name, there is type, and there are two icons. So I'll import my style first of all. Import dialer item.css. Cool. So now let's give it a class name, obviously dialer item because this is parent, and inside the parent the very first thing we have is an image. And for this, okay, what we should do here, we should directly call this so that I can use the internal properties of the item. So let's remove this, let's call dialer item here. Dialer item, as you can see, item is our item, this item that we have picked out from the dialer item list each a time. So okay, now this is being passed to my dialer item. I will take it as prop. This is known as JavaScript destructuring, when we use two curly brackets, or what you can do, you can call it props and you can say const item is equal to props.item. This will also work, but since it's a lot of work, I don't do it. You just do it this way. It is the latest feature in ES6, so you can use destructuring. Now let's call it image, and the source is going to be item.avatar. This is the avatar that we defined in our data file. Okay, I think I broke something. No. Good. So this is the avatar that we defined here in our data file. If you'll see this avatar link, so this, and let's give it a class name of item avatar. Alright, perfect. So if you'll see, you will see the three images here, and now we have this thing, Prince Khan and student, Joseph Singh and teacher. So for this, let's create a div and give it a class name of item info, because it's the information. So inside the information we have two labels actually. One is title and one is subtitle. We can call it anything. I'm just calling it title and subtitle. Item name, let's call it class name as item title, and another label which is item type, and give it a class name of, once you give it a class name of item subtitle, perfect. Now we have, see, the name and type here. Next to info we have these two icons, these mic and this camera icon. So we will need another div. Make sure you use as many div as you want, no one is stopping you, but don't get confused that why you are using this particular div. To style an icon, I'll place every icon inside a div. Let's give it a class name of item icons. You see S is there, it's plural, and here let's call it item icon for one single icon. I'll copy this for the second icon and place this from here. First one is a microphone. Again, I don't have a phone, so I'm using microphone here. Just refresh it. Okay, use microphone. This one here. Okay, so we have a microphone, and the second one is a play. Actually we need a camera, but we don't have a video actually, so I'll just use this icon. This looks neat. You can use any which you like. Just paste it, and if you see, here are our icons. So it looks very ugly right now. We have to style it. Now that we have given it the class names, dialer item the parent, info, avatar, title, subtitle, icons, icon. Alright, so we'll style it. Make sure that you don't mess up the names. First of all, I'll make the image shorter. It is bugging me a lot, so I'll give it a height of 32 pixels. If you remember, we give 32 pixels to the avatar in the header as well. So now it looks good, the size that we want. Next, the parent component, which is dialer item. This dialer item is this complete item. If you see, this is the parent item name. So it will have obviously a display property of flex, no wonder. Then a width of 100%. Then a flex of 1. I want, no, not flex direction, flex of 1. I want it to be stretched as much as it can. So next we have a padding. So I want it to have a vertical padding of 6 pixel, but a 0 pixel padding in horizontal direction. So if you will see it, it looks like this right now. We'll style it further. So item info, this item info, the title and subtitle, we'll style it right now. So item info, we'll give it a display property of flex, which you must have guessed by now. We'll give it a flex direction of column because it's one on top of each other, and I will give it a flex of 1. Now why 1? Because you see it is taking most of the space, therefore 1. So it looks like this right now. Great. So a flex property of 1. Then I want a little margin from the left side from the avatar. So let's just give it a margin right left of 8 pixel. Overflow hidden. Suppose if a name is very big, I don't want it to be there, so I just mark it as hidden. So yeah, it looks good. Sorry. The next thing is icons, plural icons. The container which is containing both of my icon, I want it to be display as flex. Just this, nothing else. Also my title and subtitle is remaining, right? I got it. So title, I want to give it a font weight of 500. The font size is good. I just want it to be a little bold, so it looks good. The subtitle, I will reduce the font size and the weight. So font size 12 pixel will be good for this. Yes. And I want to change the color to a different shade of gray, which is 61. So if you'll see, it looks perfect now. Now the icon, the particular icon, I want to change the font size to 16 pixel. I guess it is 16 pixel by default, but just to make sure. Okay, this is how it looks. It looks like this. I just have to style the parent of these two right now. And before that, we have a bottom in the dialer as well. I missed it, sorry for that. You see this bottom. So let's go create the bottom first, and then we will style it. So this is the left fold dialer. Now that we have created the dialer, we will shift to the bottom. Okay, so this comes under the dialer only. We don't have to exit the dialer completely. Suggested here. Let's give it a class name of what? Dialer bottom. Dialer bottom. I will style everything once we are done with the components inside. So we'll create a div. You see, it's an icon, and then inside that icon I'll place the icon. So it's very simple thing that I have been using so far. I'll call it dialer bottom icon. Make sure your class names are understandable, therefore I am making it like this, Command C and Command V, since I am going to use two icons. One is microphone and one is the alt video icon. So this one I am going to use it here and a microphone on top. This microphone here. Because you see we have a microphone and a video button. So if I save it, my component left fold is done. Now just have to style it. So we'll start by styling the left fold parent, then menu, then dialer, then bottom. Let's get into leftfold.css and begin. So first of all we will start with the left fold. Okay, we'll give it a height of 100% so that it will take whatever height is available. We will give it a background of, by background I mean background color of EB, which is a shade of gray. If you can see, these two are matching. We'll give it a box shadow so that it gets highlighted. So we'll give it a box shadow. Now this box shadow I copied it from the internet. You can make your own box shadow if you want. 0 pixel, then 6 pixel, and here hashtag db. So this is another shade of gray again, which I copied from the internet. It's not my own. I don't even understand this hex code. Just copy it from wherever you want the color codes. 0 pixel, 6 pixel. So box shadow takes multiple arguments, parameters you can say. You can read about these parameters. It's a blur, it's the horizontal position, vertical position. You can read about this from the internet. It will take very less time. So now you can see it is highlighted, but you can see there is a white light glare on top of it. So what we will do, we will give it first of all a width of 100%, and so that it gets stretched till here, and then we will give it a Z index. Now what is Z index? Imagine a stack of plates, right? When you eat something in a plate, you keep it on top of each other. Now that stack is Z index basically. So I want it to be, generally everything is at 0 level. I want it to go one level down. So as you can see, it is now one level down. But what happened now, since it is beneath this sidebar, this shadow is not visible this side. So we'll go to sidebar. Where is my sidebar? And we will give it a Z index of -2. I told you that we will give it a Z index -2. I want it to be even beneath this. So you can see now this border is visible. Perfect. Now that we have a Z index in our left fold, let's start working in the menu. The next thing here, we have left fold menu. Okay, let's style the menu. So it's called left fold menu. The very first thing, we'll give it a height of nearly 50%. So I'm giving it 47%. You can give it any height you want. I just tested that 47% looks good. Now padding. Here I'm going to give 4 paddings, each for side. So 16 pixel for top, 0 pixel for right, 0 pixel for bottom, and 16 pixel for left. If you'll see, it looks like this right now. It looks very neat right now, currently. So this is done. Let's handle the another parent component, that is left fold dialer. It will have a similar property, so I'm finishing it right now. It will have a padding throughout 16 pixel, padding of 16 pixel. You can see it has a padding of 16 pixel. It looks good. It has a background color of white. It makes it highlighted. So if you see background color of white, it again give it a height of 47% or any height that you want. And then what I will do, I will give it a position of relative. Now position of relative and absolute are two things which you should understand. Relative is base, and anything relative to that should be absolute. I'll explain what is relative and absolute when I'll come to it. Right now I'm giving it a position of relative. When I see it, there is nothing changed. It looks neat, it looks white. Now that my dialer is done, let's go to menu items. So you see this menu items, I need a margin for this, so I will give it here menu items, margin top of, okay, margin top, margin array yaar, margin top of 16 pixel. All right, so now I have a margin here, it looks well. Now this menu label, this call, it should be a little bolder, so I will go here and say menu label. So this menu label, it has a font weight of 700 and it has a font size of 20 pixel. You can copy it from the teams by looking into the styles, or you can try and test it, everything is fine. So now this dialer label, it should also be styled, it is not suggested, it is make a call. Just a minute, I'll just change it, it is make a call. Cool. So if you'll see my dialer label, this needs to be changed, dialer label. So my dialer label has a font weight of a little less than my call, so I'll give it 600. I gave 700 to this, so yeah, it looks good. And then it has a different shade of gray again. So color, again color you use for fonts and anything that is on the canvas, and background color you use for the canvas. By canvas I mean the div and everything, the base actually. So I'll use the 616161, and font size again 20 pixel. So both the labels have same font size, just the weight and the color is different, so it looks good. And now let's style what's next to it. It's the search bar, so it is known as dialer search. So for the search, we will give it a background color, it's a slightly lighter shade of gray, which I obviously copied from teens, you can check it out there. We'll give it a width of 100%. We'll give it a background color of F5 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 F5. It's white actually, little white. Now I need margin, so same as padding, it will take 2 parameters, it will take 3 parameters, 1 parameter, 4 parameter. I'm giving it here 2 parameters. Vertically I want 8 pixel padding, a margin, and I don't want any margin horizontally. So for the input inside this, let's go here and okay, cool, let's go here and not like this, let's go dialer search space input. This is called as selection in CSS. I want it a background color of transparent. I want border not to be visible, border none, and I want a padding of 8 pixel. So you can see I want the outline to be gone as well, so I don't want any outline. So yes, the outline is not visible right now, it's good. The next thing is that we need is actually dialer suggested, this whole thing should have a width actually, dialer suggested. You see my everything is inside the dialer suggested and it is going out, my padding is not visible, so I'll just give it a class, a style. I will give it a width of 100%. So yeah, it looks good now. So as you can see, next we have the label, this suggested label. We'll style this, it was known as suggested label. I think I misspelled some name here, let me see. Dialer suggested label, great. So yeah, suggested label. The suggested label has a font size of 16 pixel. It has a font weight of 400. Font weight is again the thickness, it is slightly normal, it's just the normal font weight, and it has a color of shade of gray, which is 616161. so as you can see, suggested is here. Next, the list. I'll style the list actually. Suggested list. Now inside the list, I want it to have a width of 100% first of all. So this list, and I want a margin top, because there should be a gap between this suggested and this list. So I want to have a margin top of 6 pixel. Margin top of 6 pixel will be good. Yes, it's good. Now just the bottom part is remaining, so we'll go to dialer bottom, the bottom. Now here we gave it a position of relative. Now it doesn't matter how long this list is, we always want our buttons to be here, so we will give it a position of absolute. We will, now from the bottom, I want it to be 16 pixels above. So as you can see, it is always here. It doesn't matter where the list will go, these buttons will be here forever. So I want it to be displayed as flex. I want it to have a width of 90% of the parent container, and I want the justify content in center. So you can see the buttons are in center. I just have to style the outer container. So it is dialer bottom icon. Now for this I need a background color of EB, hashtag EB, and I want a padding of 8 pixel because it's going to be a circular button. I want a height of 20 pixel. Now to make a box as a circle, you see it's a box right now, you just have to make the border radius as 50%. It's a trick to always make it a circle. You see it's a circle now. And the margin, I want it to be separated from each other a little. So vertically I don't want any margin, but horizontally I want 4 pixel. Yes, these are separated. And now the icons should be a little faded, so the color for the icon should be D0 D0 D0. This will look good. D0 D0. It is again a tested hex code which looks good. So now we are done with the left fold. We will move to the final part of this clone, that is the right fold of Microsoft Teams. Moving to the final part of our clone, that is the right fold. Here let's examine what we have to build. There is a label, heading label. Then there are two options, search and this add. Then we have a contact list, and these are all our reused card components, right? So we'll start. We'll go to our right fold. Left fold is completed. We have our right fold. First of all, we'll create a style file known as rightfold.css. Perfect. Now here we will create a div. The important divs are this heading, options, and a contact list. Cool. So I will create 3 divs. Div which is right fold heading, right fold heading. The next div, okay, let's give it a class name of right fold, the parent one, right fold. And also I haven't imported my style so far, so import right fold.css. My styles are imported. One div. The second div is options, so I'll give it a class name of right fold options, right fold options. Okay, and finally the last div is our contact list div, and that is contact list. Okay, so contact list. You see now we have the 3 divs. First of all, we'll start with the label, a label in the heading which is known as contacts. Let's give it a class name of heading label. All right. And in the options, if you will see, we have a search bar and a button. So I'm not going to implement any functionality in this video. We'll come up with further videos where we'll implement the functionality. So let's just build a search. So the search bar has an input and an icon. So let's give it a div, give it a class name as contact. Okay, so this is a contact screen, so I'll just call it contact search. Contact search. In the search we have an input. Let's give it a, we don't need a class name for this input. I'll just need a placeholder which says find a contact. Find a contact. Okay, so my input is here. Next I need an icon, so for that I must place it in a div so that I can style it better. It is contact search icon. Contact search icon. Obviously we will take the icon from unicorns search flat icon. It's really amazing how light it is. So here is our icon. I'll copy this icon and I'll place it here. Perfect. Now I have my icon as well. Now this search, next to this search I have a button. If you will see this particular button, this add contact button, so I'll just call it add button. Add button, and inside the add button we have an icon. You see add icon and a label again. So it's very simple. I'll place my icon in a div. I'll call it as add icon. So my add icon here, I'll go here, I will say user add this icon. I'll copy it from here, I'll paste it. So now that I have my icon, I need a label which says add contact. You see I am not using paragraph, I am not using span, heading, anything. I just use label and style it accordingly. You can use headings if you want. They are very good tags, but I personally use label for the sake of styling. So this is add label. Now if you will see, okay, acha, I haven't written add contact. So what did I open? Let me close this file, whatever this is, it's scary. So you can see my search bar is here, my add contact is here. Let's style it out, and I will style it out and see how it looks. So I'll go to my right fold CSS. Now I'm leaving the contact list for the last. Till then I'll style the rest of the things. We'll start with the right fold parent container, which should have a width of 100% obviously, and which should have a padding. You see there is a very large padding here as compared to all other components because of the width that it has. So the padding should be of 24 pixel. It has a different shade of white again. It is F5 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 F5. Alright, so it looks like this. The padding is good. Now again if you see the border that we had in the left fold is hidden. So to make it come out, I'll have to give it a Z index of -2. So yes, you see this is visible now. So okay, now let's style the heading, this contacts heading. I'll go to right fold heading. Okay, so the heading should have a padding. Actually the vertical padding should be 12 pixel and 0 horizontal padding, and I need a border bottom, this border here. So it's very simple. I need a border bottom of 2 pixels. This should be solid. You can have dotted or anything. I want it to be light gray. Yes, you can see the light gray looks good. And the next thing that I need is to style is the search box and the button. Okay, and before that let's style the heading label. I'll give it a font size of 24 pixel and a font weight of 500. So yes, it looks good. The contacts is here. Next I'll go to the options, this options where we have search and the button, and we'll style the component. So it is right fold options. Make sure you remember the class names. You don't mess up with the class names, otherwise your style property won't be applied and you will get confused at what's happening. I want to give it a display property of flex, and I want to have space between. Again, I'm telling you space between is will stretch the components to the extreme ends. As you can see, these are stretched to the extreme ends. And I want to give a margin. Vertically I want to give it 16 pixel. Horizontally I don't want any margin, so it looks good. Now I'll individually style the search and the add button. I'll start with add button first. Okay, so I'll give it a background color. I'm copying this color from Teams website. It's a different shade of purple actually. It's 6264A7. Yes, this looks good. Then we have a width of fit content, so that the color doesn't spill out. And the color, now this color is for the internal things, the font, the icons. I want it to be white. Then I want it to have a display property of flex. It looks good. I want justify content to the center, and I want to align my stuff vertically center as well. So as you can see, it looks good. I just need some padding and a border radius. I need a padding, so button should have a smaller vertical margin and a large horizontal margin. This is the general rule. So we'll have 18 pixel vertically and 12 pixels horizontally. Now the last thing is border radius of 4 pixel. It will give it a subtle radius in the corner. So my add contact button is done. Now I just have to style my search icon, but before that I'll style the label and the icon in the add button. The icon should have a margin right. See, it's sticking to the text, so I want a margin right of 6 pixel, not more, and I want a font size of 14 pixel. 16 is the default size, I guess, so 14 is perfect. A little smaller. Now again, for add label is the add contact text, this text here, this is add label. So for add label I want a font weight of 500 first of all, a little denser, and a font size of 14 pixel again. So yes, my add contact is done. Now let's style the search. Okay, so to style it, contact search, CRCH. Now the search will have a background color of obviously white. It will have a width of fit content so that it doesn't spill out. I want it to have a display property of flex, not inline. Flex, I want it to have a padding of 6 pixel throughout. And the last thing, I want it to be vertically aligned inside, so I'll give it align items center. So now if you'll see, my search icon looks good. I'll just have to style the input inside that. So for that, this space input, it will select the input, and I don't want a border, so I'll say border of none. I don't want an outline. What is outline? When you click on this, you see, okay, if I remove the border, oh sorry, so the blue line that you see next to a input, that is outline. So I don't want an outline, so it's none. Why is it not being applied? Contact search input, I'll have to see why is it not being applied. I wanted to have a font size of 14 pixel. Just a second, let me refresh this. Okay, so now it is applied. As you can see, there was some issue, I don't know what. So I'll just style the icon, which is contact search icon, the search icon that I have. I just want to give it a color of D0 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 D0. Okay, so yes, perfect. Now everything is done. We just have to create this contact list. So let's get to it. Here in the contact list, we have very usable component. This card is reusable all the time, so we'll create a separate component for this card. But first of all, again we will create some data so that our work is much easier. We will create a data known as dialer list, contact calls contact. So you can call it anything. I'll calls is the screen name and calls contact. So this is an array of objects, and each object will have property called id as key, name, let us say apple, anything could be the name, and then we have a type is again whether he's a student or not, and then we have a avatar, that is again a link of the image I'll take from here. So to save the time, I have this contact list, so I'll copy it from here, I'll paste it here, done. So now that my list is done, let's call calls contact. I'll go to my file here, rightful file, and I will import it here. So I will call it calls contacts, which is calls contact here. Now a very similar thing which I did so far, I will map through the contacts.map, and for every item I'm going to return something. Now just for now I'll just return a div saying hi. You can say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 contacts we have. Perfect. So let's create a reusable component and call it contact card. So contact card.js, and let's create the style as well, contact card.css. Perfect. Now RFCE contact card, let's take an item here. Okay, we are taking an item, and with the item what we did so far in others as well. Now let's examine this contact card. What we have here, we have an avatar, we have a name, type. So this is the top section and this icon is the bottom section. So we have two sections. In top we have left and right. So accordingly we will style it here as well. We will have, first of all I'll import the contact card.css, the CSS for this, and inside this let's call it class of contact card. Perfect. So we have top and we have bottom. So the top is known as, just call it div, class name it's called contact top, and we have icons. So I don't have to call it bottom, I can just call it contact icons. So class name it is contact icons. Perfect. So we have this icons. Now here as you can see, we have this avatar, we have a title, we have a subtitle, we have three icons. So in the top we will, okay, let's call it here so that I can use it all the time. It's called contact card, right? Contact card. Perfect. And let's pass item. I am again repeating, array map is one of the most important thing that you should know, so that you can make everything very fast. Now in the contact top we need an image, and the source is obviously our item dot avatar. All right, and let's give it a class name called contact avatar. Right. If you will see, we have 7 images here that we passed through our data. We'll style it and it will look very good. Well, it will look perfect actually. So a div, let's call it contact info, which will have name and type. So I'll call it contact info, and inside the info we have two label, actually two label, label, two label. One is item.name and the other is item.type. item dot type. You can see the type is here, so I'll give it a class name of contact title and contact subtitle so that I remember it. The aim of giving class names is so that you remember those uniquely while styling. So make sure you give it proper names. Subtitle. Okay, now I have this. Now again I need 3 icons, so the usual way we'll create a div, we'll give it a class name contact icon. You see it's this one is plural, I'll give it singular here, contact icon, and I'll copy it 3 times because we have 3 icons. Perfect. Which is first microphone, then play, and then options. Okay, so I think I'll have to, there is the microphone, it is here, and then we have video. Have to refresh this page. Video. Okay, so here is the video, and the last we need options, so it's menu, dots menu, and copy it. Perfect. Now we have everything we need, we just have to style it out. Let's see the class names. It's contact card, contact top, avatar, info, title, subtitle, icons, and icon. Perfect. So I'll go here and I'll start styling from the main card component. Contact card. Okay, I'll give it a background color of white. As you can see, it is taking the complete white. I'll give it a width. Okay, so here I have 3 cards at one time on my screen, so ideally this should have a width of 33%, but I'll give some margin, some padding, so I'm giving it a width of 28%, 5% less than 1/3, and I'll give it a fixed height of 120 pixel. I'll give it a fixed width of width I have already given. I'll give it a margin, so margin vertically I need 16 pixels, and horizontally I just need 8 pixel, so that's it. I need a padding internally of 16 pixel, and I need a border radius of 8 pixel so that it is slightly rounded. So as you can see, my cards are created, everything is flowing outside, it's very haphazard. I'll style it out. So next we have contact avatar. So for this I need a height of 80 pixels. The image is slightly bigger than rest of the images, so the image looks good. Next we have the top section, contact top. I will give it a display property of flex, and automatically this will come this side. This looks good. And we have contact info next. Contact info. Now my info will have a display property of flex. I want a slight margin from the top. Let's give it a margin top of 16 pixel. Okay, it looks good. Then I want it to be stretched out, so sorry, I don't want this to have a margin actually. I want it to be in the column, so the flex direction will be column, so it goes like this. Then I want a margin left actually to separate it out slightly, so I'll call it margin left of 16 pixels. Cool. So as you can see, it looks good. Now let's style the icons. So it is contact icons. For the icons I'll have a display property of flex so that they are in a line. Then I want margin top so that it is slightly below the image. Margin top of 16 pixel. Yes, it looks good. Then I want it to have a width of 40%. I'll tell you why 40%, because I want it to stretch out till here only. And now if I say justify content space between, not baseline, space between, see it spreads out automatically till here, till 40% of the width. Now I have to style the title and subtitle, and we are done here. Contact title. For the title I want a font weight of 600. It's slightly bold, and why is it not applied? Contact title, why is it okay? Sorry, this is font size, font weight. Yeah, it looks slightly bold. And for the subtitle, I need a font size of 12 pixel, and a margin of, vertically I want 6 pixel margin, not top, I want 6 pixel, and horizontally I want 0 pixel. Perfect. Now everything is done. I just have to put this in Flex. So I'll go to my right fold. You see this contact list, I have to style this contact list, and it's very easy to style the contact list actually. It's just 4 lines of code, I hope so. Contact list, I will give it a display property of Flex. So Flex and Grid are the most recent addition to CSS, and they are perfect. You can do wonders using them. I'll give it wrap. Now wrap means if a content is overflowing, it will shift to the next line, and vertically if it is too much, I want it to be scrolled. So if there are many cards, it will scroll, and I want the justify content from the start. I think we are done. So yep, this is it. This is the complete clone of Microsoft Teams UI. In the next upcoming video, we'll add feature to call Prince Khan, Joseph Singh, or you can just search a name and call the person, one to one, group to all. So thank you for watching this video so far. If you have been watching throughout, it's been a long video. I have coded a lot. I'll upload the code on GitHub and will provide you the link. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, comment if you have any doubt. I'll be soon back with the next part of the video where I'll implement rest of the things. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.